Welcome to today's Daily Catch Devotional. Today we will be talking about wisdom and how God gives us wisdom. The passage that I first want to go to is James 1 at the beginning of the chapter. A very famous passage where James is talking about wisdom and trials. And it reads, if I can find it, I guess. My brethren, count it all joy when you face diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So this is an interesting passage because it has two parts. First is, count it joy when you face diverse temptations. It's going to make you patient, and this is going to sanctify you. And the second part is, and ask God for wisdom, and he'll give it to you. But don't second guess yourself asking for wisdom. And this doesn't seem to really make sense. Why are these two passages together? In this area, in Salmon, Idaho, you see that there's a lot of this talk about this passage. If any of you ask wisdom, wants wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given to you. But this is taken out of context in the story of Joseph Smith, when Joseph Smith supposedly asked for wisdom from God and then received a series of divine revelations. This passage, though, in the context, does not seem to be saying that God is just going to put wisdom into your lap. He says, count it joy when you face diverse temptations, when you have trials of various kinds. This will increase your faith. This will make your faith whole through the working of patience. And it's interesting that these two things are tied together. It's almost as if we ask for wisdom, God will try us. Why else would it talk about how we have to, not be wavering, that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways? For let not this man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. Why does it use this type of language? And my supposition is that when God is saying this through James, he is saying, if you want wisdom, make sure you know what you're asking for. Because you can ask for wisdom, and I will try you. And maybe you actually don't want to be tried. And if you give up, if you're double-minded, if you blow with the waves of the sea, you will not receive this wisdom that I talk about. To reinforce this, you can look to the first 9 chapters of the book of Proverbs, but particularly for the sake of time in this morning devotional, we'll be looking at chapter 2. Verses 6 through 9, where it says, For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. Dwell on that for a minute. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. God lays up this wisdom for the righteous. For the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Sounds very similar. He keepeth the paths of judgment, and preserveth the way of the saints. Thou shalt not understand righteousness, and judgment, and equity, yea, every good path. Throughout the first 9 chapters of the book of Proverbs, before the sayings start, Solomon is musing on what wisdom is and how wisdom works in our life and how wisdom is more valuable than anything else that we can gain. And this is tied up with this, what's happening here in the book of James, is that God will show us wisdom if we trust in him and if we remain faithful to the end. And it goes on in the book of James, in the first chapter as well, to say that blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which God hath promised to them that love him. God is going to try us. God is going to allow us to be put in situations that are not the most fun. We can listen to the advice of others, but even if we have that advice in mind, even if we have that wisdom in mind, we still have to apply it in our life. We can have the knowledge, but we have to apply it in our life. We have to be able to face the temptation. We have to be able to stand up to these stormy circumstances and not be blown by the wind if we want wisdom. And wisdom, as Solomon argues in the first 9 chapters of the book of Proverbs, produces righteousness, produces uprightness. If you have wisdom, you will flee from temptation. And it's a cyclical thing which is happening. God will produce trials, give us more wisdom, give us more trials, give us more wisdom. It's not like it's going to be laid on our lap. So next time, before you ask for wisdom, think about what you're asking for. Do you really want God to take your life and put it how He wants it to be? Do you really want God to give you wisdom? Because it will probably hurt in the process. It probably won't be the most fun. And you'll probably be in a seat. And there'll probably be wind blowing rather hard. So this is my exhortation to you today, is to think about what do I want when I'm wanting wisdom? And do I want to be sanctified by God? Do I want to be brought closer to Him? Do I want to face these trials? Do I love Jesus enough? And if not, maybe you jump right in and you start loving Jesus more and more. So thank you for watching today's daily devotional.